Hello and welcome to the Brick System Brothers PAB Crawl short series of videos from Nathan's purchases at the Pick and Build Walls during his East Coast road trip. We've got a lot to cover in this video and others like it, looking at specific bricks, counts, inventories, and other things of that nature. So, please enjoy.
Yes, please do enjoy the final PAB Crawl episode. Today I have the Providence, Rhode Island large pick and build cup of Lego pieces. This was, I think, the last PAB purchase I made on the trip as well. Or would have been on the way back anyways, Providence, kind of on that home stretch return. So, one of the few large cups I did buy on the trip. In fact, I opted to go with the smaller size in most cases because as I was covering a lot of different Lego stores within the same month, I actually realized there's quite a bit of overlap in terms of what they have on the walls. And so the more stores I went to, the more of the same pieces I saw that I had already purchased beforehand. So the small cups were kind of hitting two things at once. It was a way to save a little bit of money. I don't need to get a large cup of parts every time I go to the Lego store. And also, you know, some stores just didn't have that much variety of what I actually wanted to buy piece-wise. So it's actually a better deal, parts per volume, or price per volume, to go with the big cup. The small cups are exactly half a liter. The large cups are exactly 1 liter. So it's exactly twice the volume, but it is slightly less than twice the expense in most cases, at least at wherever I've been at different Lego stores. I think these are usually $9, these are usually $16, somewhere in that range, plus minus a little bit for the tax. But Providence, Rhode Island. This store was interesting because there was a mixed bin of leftover PAB pieces from previous months, I suppose, and instead of completely clearing that out all the way down, what they did at this store was mix those all together in a kind of jungle juice selection of old PAB parts and you know, lower quantities, but searching through there and finding some stuff that was interesting. I guess I will start doing the sortation and the counting for this lot, and then we'll look at the breakdown. Some good stuff in here. So let's talk about variety when it comes to the PAB options at a Lego store. In this case, I was very surprised to see some of the parts that were in the mix. This one might have possibly been something that ended up in the brick area instead of the minifig area by accident, but I didn't put it there. So I just picked from the wall, and I think maybe some of these pieces were on there. You know how they used to do the in-store builds, and they had a little store model that you could build from a certain area of the wall? I'm not sure how many stores are still doing that, but I think some of these parts would be remnants of that program. It's not really stuff you typically see on that mix of pieces, of parts. So even like the Speed Champions room was in there. Not really sure. You know, another possibility, they do have to build display models from time to time to put in their store displays, and so I don't think they're supposed to, but some of the extra parts from those display models might have ended up in the Providence, Rhode Island wall. Just a couple theories. I don't know anything beyond a guess at this point, but I am happy to get some of this more obscure stuff. 1x1 plate in teal, the corner tile in yellow, dark brown 1x2 with the axle, and then the little teacup there, 3x3 plate in red, these inverted slopes, some red and some blue, and then 1x1 tiles. These have kind of taken over the dots and the art theme, so they're not exactly, you know, super rare anymore to get high quantities of these tiles. I mean, they're literally selling thousands in a single set. They're not super cheap, but they're out and around now, so getting some dark blue and light bluish gray from that mixed area of the wall. And then the rest of this stuff, these were actually in their own containers. So some sand green studs not on top bricks, the double-sided ones there. Dark bluish gray 1x2 plates. Always on the lookout for the 2x2 because, as you know, those are the standard for modulars, the sidewalk specifically. But I will take 1x2s because those are also used on that front row. And then the tooth plate in the bright light yellow. No, bright light orange. Bright light yellow is the other color. The boat skid is what I call this piece, 2x2 with the rounded over, polished. If I ever get back to HuTap, this is something I'd like to cover in that series. And then I think they had both portions of the turntable, the 2x2, but I just got the base part in white, a couple of those. The 1x2 baby bow in white, over 200 of those actually, and probably my favorite piece from any of the pick and build walls on this trip is the 1x4 arch insert, the spoked arch window, and ending up with 116. So all of this stuff was actually in that one large cup. It looks like just the arches take up quite a bit of the volume, but one of the things I try to do with the smaller pieces is kind of pack those in between in the pockets as I go and as I'm filling the cup, so able to get as much Lego as possible into that volume. A total of 602 pieces, and the cup costs $17.11. That works down to 2.84 cents a piece. Not a record by any means, but very good value for what I'm getting here, especially the spoked windows. So averaging out to 3 cents a piece for these guys. Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that for sure. So yeah, some nice miscellaneous in the mix. Some other parts to add to the high quantity portion of the wall. That'll just about fill it up, I think. Eventually getting another Acro Mills 64 drawer unit, and probably doing something similar where this is sorted down pretty much all the way, individual part and color. Everything else in the collection for the most part is only focused on the specific part and not sorted by color. Although I did mention some of my bricks, I'm starting to do that. I'm getting to the point for the bricks. Just a matter of how much storage I actually have and how much more I want to invest in that side of this Lego hobby instead of buying the bricks themselves. So yeah, gotta find that balance. But that'll wrap up the PAB Crawl series here. It's been somewhat ongoing for a little bit, but 9 different videos, and some of those were double features, so there's like maybe 11 or 12 different cups in here in this scattered series. Just stuff that I bought during a road trip last year over the course of a month of July, and finally getting down to the end of those, getting them all counted up now. Average across all the cups I think is close to 2 to 3 cents. So doing pretty good packing wise there. And then the record for the whole series I believe was 1.5 something. One of the small cups I ended up with like 600 pieces. Just had a bunch of small stuff, and yeah, that'll do some nice things for your averages. But yeah, that's about it for the PAB Crawl. So stay tuned for more PAB review, PAB hauls of that nature. They just won't be part of the series, I don't think. We'll see you there. See you next time on Brick System Brothers.